Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to post something a little different this time around. So we are going to actually go over parts of my business leaders masterclass where we pretty much are helping businesses who are already established or those who are looking to start a business get established. So throughout the years, I have been helping other businesses. I've helped people with their beauty line. I've helped people with custom creations as well as wholesale buying, and the list goes on and on. And throughout my journey, I've learned that there are a few things that we can do differently or we can do upfront to really establish our business, our presence online. There are little things we can do to our website to really get in there. And I just really wanted to have one central location to share the things that I have learned throughout the years. And so let's get into it. Okay, so you're in the right place if you are ready to start or continue on with your business venture. You're eager and determined to learn, ready to take notes. So I would grab a pen and paper, and then just some tips, right? That's really what we're here for. And then if you're ready to receive some resources and ready to get to the money, right? There's nothing better than making money doing the things that you love. And so we are going to get into it. So here's where we want to take great notes, right? So the first place of starting is, what are you going to sell? Are you going to sell a product? Are you going to offer a service? What is that, right? So this is the initial phases. Some people, create business plans and all of that. And I think that's really, really important. But the way that my mind operates is literally writing down everything. So first, you want to establish what you will be selling. And next, you want to come up with a name. So it should be something simple, something catchy, and something easy to remember. One of the worst things businesses can do is come up with a name that is extremely long and not memorable, right? You want something very, very simple. Next, you will decide on a business formation type. So there are different formations, and we're going to get more and more into these details throughout this YouTube video. And then you want to register your business, right? So what does that mean, right? Like there's so many different things, so many different requirements depending on state. And one of the great things about this is that we can provide you with the right direction to go in to establish your business. But there are obviously just a very simple thing. So if you're an LLC, you would register with the Secretary of State. You're going to get any required state licenses. So of course, this does vary depending on the state. You need a reseller's permit if it is required, and most of the time to purchase wholesale, it is required, and then a federal EIN number. So the next thing we're going to focus on is branding, the website, social media accounts, and then a business bank account. The importance of having a business bank account. Now, guys, remember, this is a full masterclass that is available. So we are going to be touching on specific points, but these are the initial steps. And just kind of like a synopsis of the first steps for a business. So while we will be getting into the weeds on some of these different bullet points, it won't be every single one. If you are interested in learning more, of course, I'm here to help you. But that would be a really, really long presentation. And of course, it is part of the webinar. Now, this is a big one, finding vendors. How about funding? How am I going to pay for everything? There are a few things that we can do, and we are going to review the funding portion to get some capital and even just how you can function on your everyday checks. So we're going to get into it. Next is clients or customers, and how do you get them? And then I have a placeholder here just so we can touch base on any other topics, of course, that may come up during the masterclass. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about branding. So, when you have a specific color palette for your brand, it really helps with your brand identity, and then it really establishes a lot of things, right? So, like your website colors will be based on your logo or your brand color palette. Your logo itself may incorporate those colors. business cards, right? Packaging. What color would your packaging be? It would make sense if it was something relating to your brand. Social media content. All of these things will really be based around your color palette. When we think of brands, we think maybe of like Forever 21, who has a color palette of black and yellow. So their bag is black and yellow, their logo black and yellow, and so on and so forth. When we think of Fashion Nova, right, they have black and white. So when we think of Fashion Nova's logo, what colors come to mind? Black and white. Taco Bell, we think of purple. So just by seeing these colors, we can say, okay, well, I know what brand that is or what company, those colors are established with. Another great thing about having your color palette established is that when you are looking for someone to do your website, to do your logo, you are able to provide them with the correct colors. So on Canva, you can identify your brand colors and have it there as a framework for when you're creating content. As far as, finding someone to do your logo, you can go on Fiverr. I think it always helps to have an idea of how you would like your logo to look. And then packaging, I will drop some websites below. You can get stickers and get really, really crafty and creative with your packaging. So I will drop some information below in terms of, great links to start with. Let's talk a little bit about creating your website and where you can start. First, you want to decide if you want to hire someone or if you want to create it yourself. If you are going the route of hiring an individual, you can go to Fiverr. Or if you do decide it's something you would like to take a shot at yourself, you can look on Shopify, Squarespace, or Big Cartel, just to name a few. And there are templates that you can modify to fit your brand. You want to ensure that you have policies and procedures that are in place to protect you, your brand, as well as your customers. Some of the policies would be outlining the shipping policy, processing timelines, your return policy, and any other policies that you see fit to ensure just transparency across the board and to clarify anything that may come up. You want to also add some integrations. So I know Shopify has some really great integrations that you can have on there. You can have your app on there. You can have a text subscription. You can add Afterpay or Klarna or Zip. You can have shipping integrations. Like literally, there's so many integrations on Shopify. I will outline a few that does help with businesses, but sometimes those are trial and error just to get an idea. Next, we will talk about the importance, again, just to reiterate the importance of your web page. Having your landing page is going to make such a big difference. Statistics show that web businesses that do not have a website or a direct landing page don't get as many sales as those who do. If you look at Instagram, some people do sell their products in the DM, which is fine, but what is the protection for the customer? How do you know like they're going to get their product, right? Having a website will make such a big difference. And I know it's a really big step, but I deem it as necessary. I have purchased in the DM before. I've gotten scammed, and I'm sure a lot of people have experienced that. When you have your established brand colors and website and, contact information and all of the above, it really, really helps establish your footprint and your presence, not only online, but in person. And there's so many different things that you can do to make sure your customers feel comfortable purchasing from you and, to make them come back, right? To have them as a continuous customer. So I am going to double back to this slide because I am going to try to keep these under 10 to 15 minutes. The next segment that I post, I will be talking about social media accounts, keeping your business accounts in order, ways to integrate Facebook, Instagram, and everything together, Pinterest as well. And also, we are going to talk about some vendors, places to purchase from for your business, with your business license as well as without your business license, how to communicate with vendors, how to budget your check, and a little bit about funding. So there are ways that you can gain capital. There are ways that you can shop without having the money up front. So we are going to talk about that in part 2. But as I stated, I really want to keep these kind of shorter. And yeah, so I hope someone learned something. Any questions that you guys have, please drop them below. Let's get some money together. Let's figure out how to do this. It can be very confusing, but if you're passionate about it, you've got it. So look for part 2 in the upcoming week, and I hope everyone has a great weekend.